welcome to the No Spin News, Wednesday, September 4th, 2024. Stand up for your country. You know, the world's changing fast. Most of us understand it, but some of us don't. And there's some good change and some bad change. Now, in a few years, this artificial intelligence, that is going to be stunning. And this broadcast is setting you up to understand how the evolution of the world will affect you. But today is not like it was last year. And I remember starting my news analysis career in 1996. It's like the Stone Age back then compared to what it is now. So information is the key, and that's what we are selling here at BillO'Reilly.com and the No Spin News. We are selling information that you can trust. And that's why we prospered above and beyond all our competitors. Because if I tell it to you, it's true. And in this very important election cycle, that is paramount for you to know. So what we're going to do is expand the operation. And I'll tell you about that later on in the broadcast. We previewed it last night. We have a YouTube channel in addition to BillO'Reilly.com. And I'm starting to do commentary on an almost daily basis on the YouTube channel that you won't get on the No Spin News because I'm going out of politics. For example, tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to do the National Football League kicking off, pardon the terrible cliche, and what that means in America. And it's a business story that's unbelievable. I'm going to do those things that I don't ordinarily do here on this YouTube channel, and we'll tell you about that coming up. The Talking Points memo this evening is how Trump can win the debate, which he needs to win if he wants to get back to the Oval Office. As you know, it's on Tuesday, ABC, 9 p.m. Eastern. David Muir and Lindsay Davis, moderators. I did not a debate, but a hit with Sean Hannity on his radio program today. I discussed the moderators and ABC in the presentation and what Trump has to do. But last night on News Nation, I got very specific about it. Now, remember, before I run this soundbite, if Trump loses the debate or doesn't win it in a fairly significant way, he might very well lose the election. So there's a lot riding on this. Here's what I said on News Nation last night. Go. Kamala has nothing to run on. Nothing. The Biden administration has been a disaster. This campaign's like the campaign of 1980. Reagan and Carter. The Democrats are telling everybody Carter was the greatest president. Everybody knew he wasn't. So now you got to tie in Kamala Harris with Biden. And the only person who can do it is Trump. The press isn't going to do it. The pundits can't do it. But Trump could do it if he starts to make statements that are simple and clear in the debate. So I went on to say that, and I'll give you one example of simple and clear. So you can't count on the moderators to ask follow-up questions that are meaningful. Just like Dana Bash on CNN last week, they'll ask a tough question, but then Kamala Harris or Donald Trump can answer anything they want to answer, uninterrupted. So Harris will have 10, 12 answers to predictable questions memorized, and they just spit them out. It's the follow-up. You're not going to get that. And that skill has been lost, that interviewing skill. Mike Wallace, Tim Russert, Bernie Goldberg wrote about that on his website today, bernardgoldberg.com. And he mentioned me, too. That tough interviewers have pretty much evaporated in America. They don't exist anymore. Now, we'll get into that at a later date, but Donald Trump has to understand that before he gives an answer to any question, he can say whatever he wants. Just like Kamala Harris is going to say whatever she wants. And if I were Trump, I would say, before I get to that David or Lindsay or whatever, I'm still perplexed about how I could leave the Oval Office with inflation at 1.4%. And 1 year later, under Biden-Harris, it's 9%. Does the vice president have an explanation for that? Might you ask her? That way you embarrass the moderators. You get it out there, because Harris does not have an answer. She doesn't, it'll be gibberish. So anyway, that's just one. I got 15. Now, will Donald Trump do that? Probably not. I don't know why. I just think it's so obvious that's how you win the debate. You pose questions about higher prices, the border, the Middle East, social disorder. I mean, she's got so many down things. Now we see that friends of hers, and I'll report this tomorrow because I want to do a little more research in it, are urging her to support reparations for slavery. Now, she's never going to do that in a campaign, but she will do it if she gets elected. So, to me, it's just so clear cut, but all I can do is give you honest analysis. Let's just sum this up. Donald Trump is the only person on earth who can define Kamala Harris. He's got one shot to do it. It's on September 10th at 9 p.m. Eastern. One shot. Okay, that's the memo. Today, President Biden's at the White House. He has nothing on his schedule, not unusual. I mean, you know that. Donald Trump is doing a town hall with Sean Hannity in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. That'll be on Fox News Channel at 9. And Kamala Harris is in New Hampshire, telling small business people she's going to give them a tax credit or something, which is fine. I mean, I'm a small business. So she's going to give me a tax credit. Okay. I still wouldn't vote for her because I think that she doesn't understand the country or the world. That's what it comes down to. I do not think that Vice President Harris is a frame of reference to run this country. Donald Trump ran it for 4 years. Okay? But, you all know that. Now, propaganda is at a record level in America. Joseph Goebbels, the Third Reich minister of propaganda, would be very proud to see what's going on in this country. And here's a very vivid example. So yesterday, President Biden's spokesperson, Karine Jean-Pierre, was asked about high prices. Go.
We have seen, now to be clear, we have seen grocery prices come down over the past year or more. And so that is important. And a lot of that is the work that's been done from this administration. The president has called out companies, right, who we know were doing just that, raising the cost. But what we believe is that we want to make sure that Americans are not played for suckers.
That's false. Grocery prices are not coming down. And I don't know of one company specifically that Mr. Biden has called out. Do you? Okay, so Ms. Jean-Pierre is an expert at just saying stuff that isn't true. Here is the truth. All right. So federal data says that home prices under President Biden have risen 21% since 2021. 21% grocery prices up. In the last year, okay, grocery prices are up 1.1%. Okay, less than in the past 2 years, but still a rise. Come back to me. So, Ms. Jean-Pierre is ill-informed. I'm being kind. Okay? She doesn't care. Why should she care? She could say anything she wants, and nobody's going to hold her accountable. And the people don't pay attention to her anyway. I know that. But it's my job to correct a record. So what about Vice President Harris's tax plan? She wants to raise taxes in America by $5 trillion over 10 years. But she says that the country will make a lot of that back. I don't know. Nobody knows. She also says that if you earn less than $400,000, you're not going to be affected by these massive tax hikes. Okay, number one, she wants to raise the corporate tax to 28% from 21%. All right, that's a pretty big hike. Then she wants to raise taxes on wealthy wage earners to 45% from 39%. Now, that's not including state and local. So here in New York, where I am, all right, I would be paying about 60%, 60, to various governments in taxation. Well, I'm not going to do that. Okay? It's not worth it. Not worth it. And you'll see a massive flight. I think it's bad now. People leaving New York, California, Illinois, Massachusetts. It'll be triple if that happens. Now, she can't raise those taxes unless the Democrats control the House and the Senate. Keep that in mind. Okay. She wants to impose a minimum 25% tax on people who have net worths of more than $100 million. So say you're retired and you don't work, but you have money in the bank and investments that are worth more than $100 million. You have a house, you have a stock portfolio, you have whatever, right? So then you're going to pay a quarter in a wealth tax to the feds. That's unconstitutional. They can't seize your private property according to the Constitution. All right? But this is what the woman wants to do. As students head back to the classroom, many families are reevaluating where their children really are in the education field. Parents and students alike are questioning whether their current educational environment truly supports their values. If this resonates with you, the Herzog Foundation is here to help. Discover a wealth of resources for transitioning from public schools to Christian or even homeschool. The Herzog Foundation is your go-to guide for finding the right fit for your child's educational journey. The Lion, the Herzog Foundation's award-winning online publication, is a beacon of truth. In a complex educational landscape, it keeps you informed with timely and reliable updates on education, parenting, and understanding what's happening in public schools today. Equip your family with knowledge and support with daily and weekly newsletters by signing up at readlion.com/bill. Okay, the mail. Let's go to Eileen Schaff, Long Beach, California. O'Reilly, thank you for being the only one who's explained the risk of being defensive in a presidential election. Harris is a prosecutor. That's what she's trained for. That's why Donald Trump has been up to his neck in all these legal charges. Trump needs to be a better prosecutor in the debate. Well, Harris didn't have anything to do with the prosecutions of Donald Trump. That came from the Biden Justice Department. Vice President has no sway in that. So we got to be honest here. But you're right when you say, Eileen, that she thinks along the lines of, I'm going to nail him, not what I'm going to do better for the country. No, it's I'm going to get him. But I think Trump knows that. DeWitt on the message board. We hope people become concierge members and go on that board. Donald Trump's imprecise messaging is the only thing keeping Kamala in a race. She seeks to be an undefined candidate, and Trump is oddly complying. Okay, that's not an unfair criticism. Oh, Robert, concierge member. Thank you, Robert. I continue to be amazed that someone as obviously intelligent and savvy as President Trump feels to see how he embroils himself in trivial pursuits to his detriment. You're not alone. Knock out the small ball stuff. Okay, let's go for the big one. She is a danger to all of us. Doesn't get bigger than that. John Nolan, Fargo, North Dakota. In all your presidential research, Bill, has there ever been a weaker candidate than Kamala Harris? Yes. And it's an excellent question. And you will see this in confronting the presidents. Two spring to mind. General George McClellan ran against Abraham Lincoln in 1864. McClellan was a disastrous candidate, racist, awful. Warren Harding got elected on the Republican side, terrible candidate, terrible president. Okay, they were worse than Kamala, but the stakes were not as high. Although you can make an argument that with McClellan and Lincoln they were, but you know what I'm talking about. Today, socialism or capitalism, that's pretty high stakes. Margine Greno, Little Elm, Texas. Can you please explain to me, O'Reilly, why the Democrat Party is called the Democratic Party? Because they want to be. Okay, Margot, you don't have to call them that. But they want to be the Democratic Party, so okay with me. You know, I don't get caught up on this stuff. Lloyd, California's proposal to give illegal aliens money to buy homes is not going to raise the price for illegals, but it will for everybody else. Okay, you can make an economic argument that California giving people $25,000 to put a down payment on a house. And it's not just illegals, it's everybody in California. And of course, they can't afford it. They'll bankrupt the state. I don't think it's ever going to happen. This is just crazy stuff out of CA. Felix Kewick, Uxbridge, Massachusetts. So glad you're back, Bill. I don't know why, but I feel safer after you do the No Spin News. Probably because I feel like you're the only one with a handle on what's happening these scary days. I have a handle on it. There's no doubt about it, Phyllis. And, I think more and more people are recognizing that. And that's why we're expanding to YouTube. So here it is. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly, one word, Bill O'Reilly. YouTube.com/Bill O'Reilly. Sign up free. Extra commentaries on things that we don't cover on the No Spin News. And tonight and tomorrow, we're going to do the National Football League's debut in a way that you've never heard. Business, personal, how brutal the whole thing is. And then I'm going to do commentaries like that 2-3 times a week. And they'll give you a little ping when stuff comes up. So this is great. I mean, we love this. And I thank my younger members, because I don't know anything about YouTube or Instagram or TikTok. I mean, I don't live in that world, but I know the numbers. It's staggering, the numbers. Quick story. If I've told you this story before, I'm sorry, but I'm old and I can't always retain. And my kids are all over me for repeating stories, but this is a good one. So my son last fall, a year ago, playing lacrosse for Oxford in England, okay? And they're the second best team in the southern tier of that country. They're really good because they have 6 Americans on the team. Lacrosse in Great Britain is just, not in its infancy, but it's not been around that long. Anyway, they're playing a Welsh team, okay? And they travel to Wales and they wax them. They beat them pretty badly. So after the game, my son's got O'Reilly on the back of his jersey, all right? About 5 or 6 players, Welsh players, run toward him. And he going, oh, did I do something? Am I going to get trashed here? So he was nervous. And they say, are you Bill O'Reilly's son? And he's taken aback, as I would be, okay? So here we are, in the middle of Wales, and they're asking if he's my kid. Now, in the United States, when he's asked that, his usual refrain is, no, I'm O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wise guy. But over there, he goes, how do you know my father? And they go, we all watch him on YouTube. I mean, it's stunning. But it's all over the world. So we can't get into the EU because their laws over there would allow anybody to sue us for anything. But we're on YouTube and the EU laws don't apply there. So all of the kids are watching us all over the world on YouTube. Isn't that an amazing situation? I thought that was a riot. Okay. Confronting the President's out September 10th. If you pre-order it now, you'll get it first. We start shipping tomorrow. And if you become a premium member or a concierge member to Bill O'Reilly, you get it free. You get the book free. If you do the math, this is the greatest deal ever. Re-up your membership, you get it free. Okay? Because the book, if you do the math on the book, it's an incredible deal. All right, we also have the leather-bound limited edition of Killing Patton. This is for birthdays. all right, or Christmas, somebody very special. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's leather bound, fabulous presentation, all right? And then we've got the political mugs, all right? No Socialism is our hottest, all right? We got Team Normal. We got Not Woke. You get them all together, we give you a big discount, okay? And if you are a premium or concierge member, particularly concierge, you get huge discounts. What I've done is designed a system where you can subscribe to us for free. If you give gifts, if you want my books, remember all the killing books, we have them all, okay? So if you do that, those transactions, you wind up paying nothing for the membership. This is genius on my, because I don't want to raise my prices. I don't want to do that. We could charge a lot more, but I've kept the same 7 years, I think. We've kept the same. I think we may have jacked it up a few because of cost to ship and things like that, but we're keeping the price down. Anyway, that's the BillO'Reilly.com store. Word of the day, do not be callow, C-A-L-L-O-W. Back with a final thought in a moment. You work hard to support yourself and your family, but it may seem like you never take that next financial step forward. If the bills are higher than what you bring in, a credit card might be what's making up the difference for you. The problem is the debt keeps on growing. Well, if you own a home, my friends at American Financing can help you break that cycle. American Financing saves people like you an average of $854 a month. Even better, it costs nothing to find out how much you can save. And if you call American Financing today, you might be able to delay 2 mortgage payments. So start your journey towards being credit card debt-free. Please call 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557, or visit AmericanFinancing.net. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall and lose its coveted role as the world reserve currency. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. All right, here's a final thought. Plan ahead. I'm already planning for Christmas. All right? Why? Because I'm going to go out to California to visit friends. And there are things I want to do. I'm going to go the day after Christmas out to California. I've got lots of friends out there. I haven't been out there in a while. So I'm planning it. But you got to get your airline reservations, your hotel reservations. You got to get them in line if you want to go to the places that I want to go to, which are the popular places. Okay? So I'm not going to tell you exactly where I've been because I don't want to frighten the citizenry, but I'm planning it now. You got to stay ahead of things, all right? 4 or 5 months ahead. And some people are even planning their summer vacations next year, 2025 now, and that's not too far out. But always remember, you got to get everything refundable because things happen. You got to have your airlines refundable, your hotels refundable, and usually the hotels have fairly liberal policies in that regard. Don't do non-refundable because you get hammered on that. Pay a little bit extra. That is the final thought. Thank you very much for watching and listening to the No Spin News. You want to reach me? Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Name and town. We're getting some mail with no names and towns. Can't read it. Okay? Name and town. See you tomorrow. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.